Hi, we are here with Renee Gade, and she is going to be hosting one of my favorite movies. It's top 5 at least. Army of Darkness, or it's also known as Evil Dead 3. It's coming up at the Alamo Drafthouse. 9:30 is when this plays on October 29th, 2 days before Halloween.
Yes.
Renee, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
Were you even born when this movie came out?
I don't believe so.
Why it is so cool that these movies, and there's 3 of them, the Evil Dead series with Bruce Campbell, have become such cult favorites, and younger people are so into them. And again, it's just a phenomenon that's happened over the years. And we have in 2 days on the 31st, Halloween night, Ash versus Evil Dead, which is kind of a series which picks up somewhere after. Well, actually, it's down the road a little bit from the third one,
Yeah, I don't
Army
think
of
you
Darkness.
could fudge Bruce's age that much.
Yeah, exactly. But this is a perfect time to go see Army of Darkness because you get all hyped up for that. Maybe you catch up with the story a little bit, and then the series starts on Stars. So again, you're hosting this now. Tell me a little bit about Army of Darkness, and let's get the background on the movie.
Sure, and this is something I talk about every time I host an event, is I love to give some little fun facts, some little things about how things are produced. And, well, Army of Darkness is the third in the Evil Dead trilogy, like you said, but it is a departure from the first 2 movies.
Yeah.
The first 2 movies do have a lot of camp and fun in them, but they're definitely horror movies. Lots and lots of blood, some very innovative tracking. Sam Raimi did a great job on those. But Army of Darkness is probably the comedy horror movie. It's truly funny, and there are definitely your classic horror scenes. The zombie undead folks, which really look fantastic, have held up over the years. I mean, there's a little bit of modern savvy that if you don't go into it with the right heart, it might look a little corny. But for the time, it's fantastic special effects.
Yeah.
And it's a fun movie. And like I said, it's hilarious, and it's a horror movie even for people who don't necessarily like horror movies.
It's almost it's set in medieval times. I don't want to give too much away, but it's almost like a princess movie in a way. It's like the old fairy tale movie in a way.
Yes, it absolutely follows
but
that.
very twisted.
Yes.
And now this is okay for kids too, by the way. There's a little bit of gore in there, but I would watch the age a little bit. But this would probably be a PG-13 movie if it came out now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. It's obviously movies have gotten much more graphic over the time we've mellowed to, but it is downright funny. Bruce Campbell, you want to talk about slapstick? I mean, this guy grew up on the Stooges, and he implements such physical comedy into the film that if you're not a horror fan, I mean, this is more funny than horror to me. It was just hilarious, and he's got some of the best one-liners of cinematic history.
Oh yes, absolutely.
In this one, yeah, yeah. Now, backing up a little bit, the Evil Dead was remade a few years ago. Evil Dead really was your typical out in the cabin in the woods type of storyline. Again, some demonic forces come out and just literally raise hell with the people out there. The latest one that came out a few years ago, which I'm sure a lot of the younger generation went and saw, not even knowing about the first movies, was much more of a realistic film.
Yes, it kind of followed that this new tradition of like the extreme gore, the real creative gore, and this kind of more emphasis on the kills themselves. Yeah.
It was definitely a rough one. I think as a fan and old enough to remember the first ones when they were out, I thought they did a great job with it, even though there was no Bruce Campbell and had a different flair to it. But going on to the series now, Ash versus Evil Dead, and that's his name, by the way, if people don't know. Ash picks up again, he's older now, and I don't know, he accidentally opens a book again of the Book of the Dead. And what we wanted for years, I mean, this was like an ongoing joke. There's Facebook pages. Everybody wanted an Evil Dead 4.
Yes.
What I think happened back then, from what my knowledge and remembering of it, Sam Raimi, who directed the films, he got real big. In fact, he did the first Spider-Man. He became a big Hollywood director. So they just never got back to it. Mm-hmm. But now they have finally, in the form of a series. Well, I should say a mini-series. There's definitely a beginning and end to this. I don't remember how many episodes, but 10, something like that. So, again, going out Thursday night will certainly get you in the mood for... And again, it's a great time to see it in the theater.
Yes.
Because, obviously, the younger generation especially did not see it in the theater. So this time, you can see it on the big screen rather than the little DVD like you've probably been watching it with a whole group of people. I mean, what better experience?
It's wonderful to be surrounded by people who have a love for the things that you love. And even if you've never seen this movie, you're going to feel that energy. It's going to be great. For folks who have never been out to Alamo Drafthouse, it is a unique theater experience, started in Austin, Texas. There's food service at the tables. But more than that, it's just got this really great art house community vibe to it.
We're so lucky to have that in Lubbock. I mean, that really gives us some culture.
Yes.
Even if it's showing old horror movies. To me, that is culture.
Yes.
I don't care. That's culture to me.
And the special events range from anything from Texas Tech hosts a continuing education series. Yep. These horror movies. We also have sing-alongs. I'm working on getting a country sing-along.
Yeah.
Which is basically like karaoke with a room full of people. If you ever have liked a movie, I think it'll eventually, come out on Alamo Drafthouse, and
Nice.
you'll have that opportunity. Just pay attention.
Yeah. Great. Where can they find them, by the way?
Alamo Drafthouse, I cannot remember the exact address, but it's off of Slide on the North Loop.
Yeah, it's right off the loop there too, and they've got a Facebook and website. Just type it in. You can, if you forget all this, you can type it in too. So, well, again, Renee Gade in here, and we are excited about Army of Darkness Thursday, getting everybody in the mood for Halloween. And again, I was such a nerd back. Nobody I knew liked this movie, and what's just so cool to people my age and they're born back then, I'm not gonna say my age, is that this has held up so well. It's just really a phenomenon that's really cool to see. So
yes, wonderful.
Renee, thank you.
Thank you so much.